a joke like Chappelle Show. This so perennial, do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle Show. This so perennial, do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. Yeah. I just had to let you know. Yeah. Give me that work and I can sell it. I put it on the line like I ain't selfish, nah. The story flip if I let you tell it. Put my heart and soul in so you feel it. I ain't never faking, I'm the realest since Tupac in imprisonment, claiming his innocence. Currently, I'm the greatest rapper in a sense. But any currency, I'm still guaranteed my wins. This is coming from within, I stuff for real, I don't pretend. When the OG spilling knowledge, bet it's best you soak it in. I'm a prophet to them scholars, got them chakras opening. Got them fixing up their octaves, now they truly focused in. I'm seeing 2020 visions. Daily manifesting on my premonitions. Best to keep it neutral, got my own religion. The brainwash, gotta make your own decision. My word is James Bond, I stay on a mission. Coming for the top position, ain't no competition, man. Pull up in the top, it's missing, the opposition in. All that lane switching, this is what the game is in. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle Show. This so perennial, do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle Show. This so perennial, do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know.
Okay, Coach. Well, from a place that's officially been recognized as the loudest venue in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium right here in Kansas City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Kansas City Chiefs. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The Chiefs take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Yellow. Mark the blue lady. Hey, 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 hey.
Mahomes now on first down. He'll find his tight end, Seals Jones. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First down for the Chiefs. Solid chunk of yardage, 17 on the play. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
A situation they'll certainly want to avoid going forward. An early 2nd and long they're facing. Here's Mahomes to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. Cameron Jordan, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. And that's caught inside the 30. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. Mahomes finding Hill for a big play. 55 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. A first carry for Samaje Perine. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
On 2nd and a couple, Mahomes. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center.
Yellow, yellow. Go on, 80. Watch the run, watch the run. Watch the run. Check. Check 50, check 50.
On play action, it's Mahomes. And he finds Seals Jones complete. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
It's a good gain of 11. Sets them up 1st and goal.
First down. 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
Yellow. Right. Coming to you. Check. 50, yellow.
Throwing now is Mahomes. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Tavon Austin, his second touchdown on the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now White. Thomas has got it, complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A Saints first down there on a gain of 11. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series. Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
And that was a good collision right there. And I know this as a former defender. If you're playing linebacker, you're going through a checklist on every play on who you think's going to get the ball and where you think the ball's going to go. Rarely do you expect the fullback position to get it. And on that play he did. So you've got to steel yourself at that point because the contact is going to be strong.
Ready up. Mike 3. Wicker. Set up.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Well, that's a tough, costly penalty because now it makes it 3rd and 6 after the false start.
We got to step it up. Hey, watch this.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. On 1st and 10, White. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Well, it doesn't take any great analysis. No jokes, partner, okay? All right, on this one. But we just know that we're going to see this as the game moves forward. There's going to be 2 guys on him on just about every snap.
It's kind of a dare to throw his way, but they have to keep throwing his way.
The benefits could be great. You throw it to a great receiver, he could come down with it anyway.
Now it's Kamara in the passing game. 7 yards on the play, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down.
7-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here.
From the shotgun, here's White. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Now Lutz for the field goal try. This from 54 yards away. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Charles, 54 yards. I'm surprised that came up short.
I would agree with that one because normally if he when you chili dip and you hit the ground ahead of it, sometimes that'll shorten your distance as well.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
Early in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. McKinnon, and not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23. Now it appears we've got a Chief moving pretty gingerly down there. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Let's go. You tighten up.
They fake the give. Now Mahomes. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good 3-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Kamara
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Tackle made there by Frank Clark.
Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and rake it and lock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Watch the boot, watch the boot.
Here's White. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Sean Lee, the longtime vet, getting in and getting to the QB. A rookie QB struggling, gets thrown down to the ground there. But, you know, maybe this game, it's not over yet, but maybe this game can be a learning experience for him.
So many different things that he has to pick up on. When to go ahead and flush from the pocket and run. When to get rid of the football and not take the sack. When to just go ahead and go down early and make sure you don't fumble the football.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
It's your time, baby.
Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
But that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Pirine, draw play. That'll net 7 yards on the ground, but it'll leave him with a healthy distance still to go on 3rd down.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Throwing on 1st down is Mahomes. That one complete to Hill. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score.
They don't want it. Keep playing hard, fellas, all day.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join, who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
A running play here on 1st down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they call the field general.
1st and goal at the 3-yard line.
Yellow. Come on, Eddie. Come on, D. They got tight left. Out. Five down. Stand up in.
And that's caught by Thomas for a Kansas City touchdown. Demaryius Thomas, his first touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. No problem there on the extra point. And that makes our score 17-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20. And down at the 22-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
On second down and 4, White. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Watch the pass.
On first down, it's White. He's going to sling this deep downfield. That's caught inside the 20. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on first and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw, and that is incomplete.
Well, we've seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is, because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
Throwing again on second and 10. White. He's got the lane, and there he goes. The 40. Past the 20, 10, 5. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. This one taken just inside the 10. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told, as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Frank Clark has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
After the sack on first down, White, and he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. The sack by Dorian O'Daniel, the linebacker from Clemson. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. It's caught. Smith. He's at the 50. 30. 20. 10. Touchdown. New Orleans. Traquan Smith. 93 yards. And the Saints get a bit closer.
Coaches must really like to see that from the quarterback because he's had the interceptions in this game, but they're able to connect on the touchdown pass.
And teammates love to see that because they know that they miss blocks during a game, but they come back and make them later on. They miss tackles, right? They miss making plays, but the spotlight is magnified on your quarterback. And when he stands up to the pressure and comes back and throws a touchdown pass after throwing some picks earlier, they feel great about that guy.
And likewise for him personally, as a rookie quarterback, has to give him more confidence.
And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in, as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10. Mahomes going to throw. Forced out to his left. The ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one, picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
I don't need to. I'll go
On 1st down, Mahomes. And he fires a strike to his big target, Demaryius Thomas. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City 1st down.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, we're going to sell the go. Just go, and let's see who's faster.
Open man is Hill. He's got it. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead.
And on this play, he just made a great route. The quarterback had to deliver it, sure, but a great route run there.
And, Brandon, this is what the best receivers do. They work on their route running because it's one thing to have athletic ability, but to really get open, you have to set up defensive backs with different routes and be precise in your cuts.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. He was looking for his fullback there, Zach Line, and it's 3rd and short. To throw, White. And he finds Cook. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 14 yards is the pickup. 1st down, New Orleans.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. The coverage good that time by Kendall Fuller.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Now left side on the swing pass. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll be 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
The open man is Smith. And he'll be brought down with the 1st down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Alvin Kamara, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints make some inroads here to that deficit. Lutz good on the extra point, and that will shave one more off this lead. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This will be fielded at the 8. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return.
The Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at their own 38-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Demario Davis coming in for the sack that time.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. Gets this one to Hill. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On the draw, Pirine. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
Gets it to Hill. It's a jet sweep. 16 yards, a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
First and 10 at the 33-yard line.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
Watch the out, watch the out.
It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's second down. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Second and 5 now. Mahomes completes it to Austin. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completions.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
Flushed out right, and he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's the bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Sheldon Rankins in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit. After the sack, things get a little tougher here. Third and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs.
Hey, check Mike 21, Mike 21, check Mike 21.
On third and long, it's Mahomes. He is going to find Hill here. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
First and goal at the 8-yard line.
Yellow. Hey, I'm coming.
Smith trying to run for it. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Tremont Smith, his first touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And they open the lead up now to 25. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. Now a hit and a loose football. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Second down, McKinnon. Down right around the 25. Tackled there by Alex Anzalone.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. But he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You just go ahead and play.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. The first down screen pass, good for 5.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The Chiefs on third down. They have been superb, 5 for 6 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
A nice little juke. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Here we go.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. Good
yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now White. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
It's a gain of 20. First down, Saints.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Get that
Now White. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Saints get a bit closer. Obviously, the scoreboard right now is not the friend of this rookie quarterback, but, hey, a touchdown pass there maybe builds a little confidence. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Darren Lee picks it, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Chiefs are going to make the recovery. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick,
Oh, it's out. McKinnon fumbled it. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Now a play fake here on first down. And he's taken down, a Chiefs sack.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
And this is caught off a deflection. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
Now that's a defensive coordinator's nightmare right there. You're covering everyone, and the guy's not even the intended receiver ends up making the play.
Right place, right time, I guess.
When that ball's tipped up in the air like that, you've got to go.
And he can't escape, and down he goes. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. Here's Thomas Morstead now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And now the punt team couldn't get ready in time, and this is going to be a delay. And that'll set them back 5. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
29 is the Mike. Mike 29. Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time. 29.
On 4th down, White. That's to his running back, complete. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Chiefs will have the football back in excellent field position. A first down carry for Smith. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. Interesting, Mahomes wants to throw it. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play. After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. Now Mahomes steps away to his left, and he's going to go down again. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Chiefs, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for the Saints, the difficult season continues as they drop to 1-8. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.